Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the point of the Turkey Tom drama where the victims or the ex-girlfriends have now started fighting with each other, and quite frankly, it's making some very interesting content, and it's kind of my fault. Now, over on Kiwi Farms, this guy named Incongruous said the third ex did an interview with CamNuggets. It's an interesting addition to the established narrative presented within the thread. Also, she said Tom loves men, which is a great confirmation that bro is gay as hell. But yeah, if you haven't seen my third video, go check it out. This is where I basically talked about the newest person, also covering the age play chick, going over a few more things related to that, as well as the dog girl. But basically, a third girl ended up coming out, and she wanted to be anonymous to the point where she ended up dropping some allegations and then just deleting her account, which essentially led to Katie, the second ex, KloroxKatie, doxing this poor girl, right? I don't approve of that. I think that's silly. I think if someone wants to come out with allegations to an extent, like they can remain anonymous, like they don't have to have their face and name and all this other stuff like leaked on the internet. They, of course they should be verifiable that this is a real person and they can prove they interacted with the person they're accusing, which is exactly what she did. She posted pictures at Tom's house on the dating profile, right? But Katie ended up doxing this person's face, their Instagram username. Now, earlier yesterday, Left for Dead, aka KloroxKatie, the second accuser, ended up dropping this humongous post on Kiwi. Hello friends, I'm alive. Here's some responses. First off, I only ever mentioned my BPD to show he obviously is a type and definitely goes after this type because it's more known that BPD girls are crazy and bitter, and so it's an easy way for him to beat women and treat them like crap and get away with it. I've never used it as an excuse, and I don't think I've even exhibited insane BPD girl behavior in this thread. Okay. Now the third ex, her name went by M on Twitter. She ended up deleting the account. Left for Dead, aka Katie, ended up doxing this girl, saying this girl's 1,000% attention whore and just hopped on the train in hopes of getting noticed. DM'd me very odd messages, also obviously self-conscious. She called herself chopped and fat multiple times. What a mess. Mind you, I've spoken to M, and Katie was in her DMs, being very friendly, very nice, very supportive, all to essentially go and leak her private information onto Kiwi Farms that she chose to redact herself. She chose to create a burner account. She chose to censor her face. All for Katie, someone who claims to be a victim of Tom, to go and then leak it, right? I think that's very evil. I think that's very telling of who this Katie person is. I'm not saying it makes Tom innocent. I'm not saying it makes Tom's allegations instantly disappear, but I'm saying that it makes Katie look extremely terrible that you're going to make some pretty bad allegations about someone while also doxing someone that you don't think is a victim in your eyes, that you think is taking away your thunder in terms of internet drama. Now, this page is going to be censored because I still respect this person enough to not post them to thousands of people to see. Basically, it says, photo of new ethot posing and smiling with Tom's Tinder profile up. Not even swiped on him yet, so she definitely knew who he was. Here's her Instagram account, and here's the photos that were shared on her own Twitter thread that were censored. These ones are uncensored, so she just completely dropped her face and Instagram name, like for no reason, just to say she did it, just because it made her look bad. Again, we're going to say, oh, she definitely knew who Tom was. Are you telling me that you dated this guy for months and didn't know, right? Like the first girl who dated him for 7 months, you never once noticed this guy was on YouTube checking his analytics. You never saw him editing. You never saw him recording. He never mentioned recording or uploading something or being stressed about a video or a topic. You never noticed if he had a play button on his wall or on a shelf. Like, there's so many reasons why I feel like not knowing what someone does for a job for 7 months, not just being friends with them, but of dating them and like visiting their home and hanging out, just doesn't really seem very realistic. It's possible, but it just doesn't come across as realistic. She then says, really just posting this to out the attention whore, trying to F up actual evidence because she wants her 2 seconds of forum fame. She then ends up at referencing Ellie, aka the age play girl, saying, I'm waiting on Ellie's friend, doing everything I can to try and get in contact with just her. I think I can get her to talk if I get in contact, shaking my head. Just tell her to recover her account. Remember her hacked Instagram account? Just tell her to do a password reset. It's not that hard. Now, this person, Mango Reseller, makes a really great point replying to Katie. She asks, how am I an attention whore? He says, I would say you generally come off as more malicious than anything else because the way you type messages implies you have a definitive axe to grind with Tom. The other girl allegedly just broke up with him in January. You've been sitting on what you claim is abuse for years at this point. Then a lot of your posts, I would say the vast majority, are just your interactions and sexting with him and mostly nothing burgers, which feed into that narrative. And all honestly, I'm all with you, spill all the tea girl, yes, etc, but don't really expect to be seen as some sort of martyr, and definitely don't expect to get simps on freaking Kiwi Farms of all places. Some people will agree with you no matter what, and some will crap on you no matter what. Just live with it and don't start arguing with randoms. It makes you look worse. Exactly. That is the main point. Drop some allegations, say what you have to say. The longer, the more professional, the more evidence, it's always the better, right? We've seen situations where 5,000 page Google Docs have come out with videos, like look at the I'm Alex thing. The more you have, the more precise, the more concise, the more accurate it is with anything you can provide, just goes better. It sounds bad when you just drop like a hint here and there, like you're trying to hype up some like big movie special, or again, like with me, like I'm doing these YouTube videos where it's like part 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm kind of covering things as they come out. This is all stuff that this person knows already. This is all stuff that's already in their head. So just post it all. Don't like hint like, oh, I'm going to drop a little crumb here. I'm going to drop a little crumb and hope that the turkey comes and picks it up. It's going to get to the point where there's so many dumb allegations that people won't take these serious ones as serious anymore because you've already ruined them. Now, the first accuser, aka Sacramento 89, ended up replying to that, so she knows who I am. Sacramento, if you want to provide any more info, hit me up. I know you know who I am now. I have a big problem with this random hookup of Tom coming forward with literally nothing to get any bit of e-clout off of Katie and its allegations, which have far more proof of his violence and debauchery. I have never seen a victim say, you're not as much of a victim as me, actually. I am the real victim here. Me and Katie, we're the real victims. You, though, you're just the clout hungry one. If someone feels like they're a victim, they should be able to speak out and that's kind of for like the public to decide if those allegations are as serious as the other ones. Personally, I think the third one did. Yeah, it just came across more as, yeah, I know who Tom was and he broke up with me and he might have cheated on me, the end. So, of course, that's not as bad as like, oh, I got beat, I got bruises, I got blood in my you-know-what. But still, I don't think it makes a lot of sense, and it's not a good look for victims to basically attack other victims, especially on a public forum like Kiwi Farms. To which this person, Jandal, says she's trying to get clout off of Tom and your allegations are also probably the biggest deal. Realistically, she isn't going to get any clout off of this anyway. Yeah, it's gay, but this is to be expected. The more women who come out with any kind of evidence only lead more credence to both of your stories. I understand it not rubbing you the right way, but this is bound to happen. It will continue to happen. I wouldn't worry if I were you, and that's completely fair. Like anytime a drama happens, we had the Mr. Beast thing, where of course Dogpack was the first plane, and then you had the Jake Weddle stuff, and then you had other people who were involved, and you had like random shitters kind of pop out of nowhere and were like, yeah, I also happened. This guy stole my idea. He cheated in Minecraft. He ate my chocolate bar. He stole my lunch money, right? Like everybody was coming out of the works. And this is kind of what's happening with Tom now, which is why it feels like every day there's more people coming out, as little as it may seem. And essentially, it's going to be one of those things where it seems like Tom is going to beat the allegations by some of these women, some of these victims destroying the allegations by themselves, unfortunately. Coffee Drinker says, you're upset other people are coming forward to confirm your story because they're stealing your thunder. BPDE girls never change. And yeah, that's very true. Not the BPD comment, but the fact that like you're mad that someone else is adding like fuel to the fire. You're just kind of like, oh, this is my war. This is mine. You go away, girl. You're making up stuff here. I'm the real one though. Now, our word hunter ended up saying, not really. The more random hookups and e-girls that show up to add nothing but try and farm clout, the better it is for Tom. It makes everything seem less like Timothy is a sex pest and more like a group of harpies trying to suck fame off of him, which is a good point. Like, Yeah, it does get to a point where you throw like a dart and one hits, you throw another dart, one hits, and then people just start throwing shit, right? Like they're like monkeys, they just start throwing crap at the wall to see what sticks. It gets to that kind of point as well. It really just depends what the allegations are and if it's actually something serious or more like, oh yeah, I dated him too, and you're like, oh, was it bad? And you're just like, no, it's fine, and you're just like, okay. Coffee Drinker replies to that person saying, why can't it be both? The biggest lie in Hollywood is sleep with me and you'll get a starring role, and that still applies to famous e-celebs. Anissa's boyfriend, aka iDubbbz, is only with her because she wants the fame he gave her, and now he's stuck being a cuck for her while she tears him down because it makes her famous as a lolcow. Sex pests can use girls seeking e-clout and attention, and then dump them for another when they get too out of hand or boring, which it looks like Tom is doing when he switches up women every few months and has a random hookup while dating women he tells them he wants to marry. Now, Sacramento finally replies again, the first woman, the first ex. You described perfectly what Tom has been doing for the past 2 years, bro. Told me he ran through half an art school in Maine and screwed 2 women who apparently knew each other, but he told me he changed when he started dating. Again, that doesn't really make him look bad. You knew this. You knew bro went through all of the freaking cast of Victorious, and you still basically were like, all right, I volunteer, hit me up. Like, you didn't have to do that. Like, if you just wanted a fling, if you just wanted to be friends with benefits or something, you could have done that. The fact that you still went on with a relationship with this guy for 7 months and are now trying to post it on the internet to, like, make him look bad, like, bro's just a man whore. I don't care. Now, this is where Left 4 Dead, aka Katie, kind of has what I would consider a crash out. This guy says, you yourself are an attention whore, blah, blah, blah. She says, how am I an attention whore? I haven't done any interviews because I don't want to. All I do is dump info for F-slurs like you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you now. Me and Sack have uploaded all the same style posts, but you guys only get salty with me because I'm a little mentally unwell. That random girl DM'd me, she tried to call Tom, tried to set an interview with 3 different slop tubers and only posted what she had to get some attention. And Katie, that doesn't really make you look good that you didn't do interviews. Maybe you don't want to do interviews. Maybe you're scared that if you do an interview, you might get some pushback, or you might have to answer some questions, or you might slip up and say something you don't mean. It's really easy to like make accusations and just post things and be like, no, that's not right. Go back and post again. No, that's not right. Right. That's a lot easier to do than being live on an interview, being confronted with quite hot topics, things that you're alleging, things that could ruin Turkey Tom's career. It's a lot easier to not go on an interview and to just ignore it and continue to vague post onto Kiwi Farm, or again, start throwing personal attacks and insults and silly little things like that. This is not me sweeping for Tom. This is just calling out a bad actor, a bad faith person in this situation. Again, that I feel will truly damage these allegations if it ends up being something more than just Tom is a gooner. And that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. Again, the e-girls are fighting. It's not a good look, Tom. Tom, calm these ladies down, all right? Tell them to take it easy. Okay, if they got serious allegations, we need to hear them. If you've got serious proof, again, Tom, we're waiting. We're all waiting, and with eager minds, eager eyes, probably cooking something up already. I understand. I'm going to keep covering it fairly, and if that includes covering these wacky chicks who are digging themselves into a hole, I will. I'm also going to consider the fact that, yeah, these allegations are rough. Tom has done things that he has criticized others for in the past. You know, the whole idea of selling stop gooning merchandise while being a crazy gooner is hilarious, a hilarious concept. But for the most part, it seems like this entire situation is going to boil down to Tom is a gooner freak, right? Welcome to the club now. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Peace out, guys. I appreciate it. Bye.